Calling DL 4930982, Car Cur Pa 1 LLC, DBA The Liquor Barn, 4215 East New York Street. And I believe we have...
This is the one where we have, yeah,
Monsters.
Yes.
I apologize, which one was this?
This is the one on East New York Street.
4215.
Mr. Staab, I believe this is not your first visit with this board?
It is not.
All right, so you know the process here.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, you have a remonstrator. So what we're going to do is give you a chance to tell the board directly what you would like to accomplish in this meeting today, the transfer. And then what we will do is turn it over to the remonstrator, give him a chance to explain why he's opposed to that. And then we'll come back to you. You can make a final statement. The board will ask any questions that we have intermediately, and we'll go from there. And then we'll call for a vote.
And just so that we know that this is just a transfer of ownership, there's already a liquor store there doing business as the Liquor Barn.
Got it. Great. Tell us what you'd like to
So
do.
where are, I'm sorry, 4215 East New York Street, where is that? Is that like Emerson, Sherman?
New York and Colorado?
Yep.
Again, Colorado's in between Sherman
It's
and
in the
Emerson.
Grace Tuxedo neighborhood. It also happens to be within a IMPD focus zone, so it's on New York Street, roughly 4 blocks east of Sherman Drive.
Gotcha. I know
Between
where-
Sherman
I know
and
where we are.
Linwood.
I know where we are. Thank you.
Okay.
And this is a transfer?
Yes, transfer of ownership.
It's the same scenario as last time. He's going to transfer it to you.
Okay.
All right, so just wrap that up. You guys would like to transfer the application into your name? Okay, how long have you had it?
For 2 years.
2 years? Any violations?
Actually, I had a violation, but I came in like a few months ago, and we cleared that out to renew my license.
What was that for?
For the violation I had for, I think my employee said it's a minor, and I told him I terminated him, and we got approval for it.
Okay. And would you like to say anything?
Is there any reason you're transferring all these licenses over? Or
No, actually,
are you selling?
Yeah, actually, I'm selling it to someone. He wants to buy it.
Would you like to make a statement before we ask the remonstrator why he's here? Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Staab?
Sir, the Near East Side Community Organization, known as NESCO, I chair a code enforcement crime reduction committee. We oversee 20-some neighborhoods in the Near East Side. This premise falls inside the Grace Tuxedo neighborhood. We noticed that this application was being transferred, and at which point we contacted the Grace Tuxedo neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods, as well as many of the faith-based organizations within this neighborhood, just to see what their concerns were. A lot of them felt that we are already saturated with retail stores for serving alcohol, but we know that this has been a long-standing business, and we just found that we came up with 6 concerns, which I will share. Here's 4 copies. One for
Do you have an
each
extra
board
copy for
members.
the record?
And we'll have an extra
Yeah.
copy for the record. And I have given them a copy as well, and I will review a second copy as well. And I have made trips to this premise along with many neighbors. So in our gallery, we have 4 members from the community that have come in support to let the new applicants know that it's not just a sole person that's against them. And we are not against this license. We would like to give them a chance to prove that they are good neighbors and resolve the concerns that we have. So all we are asking is that we would like to put them on a 1-year probationary license to give them a chance to take care of these concerns. And in some of the visits that we have made, we have noticed that there was loitering on the premise, and I am guilty of that, and I stood there for about 20 minutes talking with a neighbor, was not chased off the property after making a purchase. We did notice that there was on-site consumption. It seems to last maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes at the most, and then it tends to move on. Again, they did not ask to be removed from the property. Neighbors have been concerned that there are already sales to inebriated customers. Now, this is kind of discretionary. It's hard to tell if somebody is inebriated when they come in to purchase, so this is a discretionary thing of the owners, and we would ask that they be more vigilant in this. In looking at some of the code violations, we found that there was a dumpster enclosure violation. This was complied, but in the chance of them complying, we noticed that they were given 2 citations, one for $25, one for $50, and according to city records, this is still unpaid, even though the violations occurred in 2016. So as good neighbors, we would hope that they would take care of this. Again, not a major issue. We also noticed that in 2015, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management placed a soil gas sampling well on the property, which is just to monitor the environment, and we would like to see this well identified and kept unobstructed. At this point, we could not find the well. So I don't know if you know exactly where the well is, but I mean, it's just something that for our environmental needs, we would like to see that this well be identified. We also noticed some parking lot conditions. Along the south wall, there is a fence line and there is a lot of brush. They have signage marked stating that violators will be towed, but the brush has overtaken the sign. We know that some of the parking lot striping is a little faded, and we've noticed some of the customers, as they come pull in, they don't particularly use parking lot stripes, which is just something that's another minor problem. And then the parking lot light tends to flicker, so there's obviously some attention that would need to be with this. So we have met with the father of the owner and an employee, given them our concerns. They took pictures of our concerns, shared them back with the owners. I've met in the hallway with the owners and representative, and just to explain our concerns, and we would like to ask for just a 1-year probationary license, just so that they can show that there are good neighbors. If the concerns are not taken care of and addressed, or the problems occur, we would love to be able to come back and have another chance to remonstrate.
Well, Mr. Staab, I'll say, as far as a remonstrator goes, I think you just did a great job. If I lived in your neighborhood, I'd be proud of what your group did there.
And you have been in discussion with them?
We have.
Okay.
When did you start that discussion?
Actually, I'm sorry that due to some business arrangements, I did not get the notice until Tuesday, even though I had seen a month or so in advance. So I really started the discussion on Tuesday evening. So I made a couple contacts with Tuxedo Park Baptist Church, Shepherd Community Center, most of the neighborhood organizations. So I have not reached out to a huge number.
Sure.
So just within the numbers that I had talked with, I have only come up with 6 concerns. And like I say, none of them are huge issues. I've talked with IMPD. We don't have a whole lot of police runs. The runs that were made out there were actually in favor of the community. There was a person that overdosed in the neighborhood and ended up in their parking lot. They did call IMPD and medical, so we know that they are responsible, but we just would like for them to be a little bit more proactive in keeping the loitering and the on-site consumption to a very limited range, and that's all that we were asking.
May I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Did you reach out and try to contact them before today?
I did. I contacted,
2 days ago, yeah.
Okay.
yes, and then Friday we went into the store to talk with the manager and the cashier at that time, and talk with them as well. So,
Gentlemen, have you had a chance to read these 6 requests?
Yes,
All right. And do you have any thoughts on that?
We will take care of all these as soon as
No, we can't hear you.
I'll take up this as soon as possible,
Okay.
What is your as soon as possible?
like
mean?
not more than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
The brush and the overgrown brush over the signs and everything.
Yep.
And I agree with Mr. Staab. I mean, these aren't major concerns or major issues. These are more maintenance and housekeeping issues just to beautify the neighborhood. So, yeah.
But if you're going to be in the neighborhood, be a part of the neighborhood. I mean, I think it's that mentality, right? We all want to carry that. All right, well, I guess it's probably important to say that as far as enforcement, this board can't enforce brush and some of these IDEM, code enforcement scenarios, but you just told us that you were going to do your best as a partner to wrap all these up in 2 weeks, and we appreciate that. Mr. Staab, appreciate the way you handled yourself and the way you always handle yourself when you come in front of the board, so thank you. With any further questions, or are there any further questions?
Nope.
All right, someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion for a one-year
All right, there's
renewal.
been a motion for approval for a one-year permit. Is there-
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good job, guys. Good luck.
Thank you, Board.
Don't?